Hi, everybody. Welcome back to In the Cards and Stars. I'm your host, Britt Madrid Mogensen, and today we have a very special guest who is going to be acting as our legal consultant while we talk about the Diddy drama. We have my husband, Lawyermog, aka the Libra lawyer, also known as Michael. Hi, Michael. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. It's great to have a legal consultant here with us today because we're going to be talking about some of the Diddy drama. I wanted Michael to come on here because he is a lawyer and he's been a lawyer for many years. He's also been a prosecutor and he's done it all. He knows so much about law. And this Diddy information, I don't know about you guys, but it's a little confusing. Like, what do these different things mean? So we're going to go through the indictment. He's going to give us the legal tea. Then I'm going to pull some cards. So let's get into it. Okay, Michael. So first of all, what are your thoughts on this indictment? When you look at it, will you give us just some initial reactions, please?
In Dallas and got home. It's a little after midnight.
It's a little late. We're a little tired.
We'll put through it. Anyway.
Was that just a disclaimer in case we sound...
Disclaimer number one. Disclaimer number two.
In case you sound exhausted.
What we're talking about here is for entertainment purposes only. I will not be giving any legal advice by anybody in this case, and the things that I will be talking about are all public knowledge and or experiences that I've had in cases that the information has already been made public. So with regard to Mr. Combs, what we know so far is that the United States has charged him in a 3-count indictment, and that was handed down by a grand jury, collection of 12 people from any walk of life, and any one of us could be chosen to do that at any time. And they're seated as a jury, and the prosecution presents enough evidence to establish probable cause that A, a crime has been committed, B, that the alleged defendant was involved, and C, that they have proper jurisdiction. And so if all those things are met and the jury comes back in a unanimous group of 12, which it's almost always unanimous, and I believe unanimous in this particular instance, they will come back and they will actually have the charges will be determined not by the prosecutor, but it will be decided by the jury of what they have probable cause for. And that's what's happened in this case.
I'm going to ask you some questions, okay, Michael? So from a layman's perspective, a lot of us hearing about this have, I think, probably some of the same questions. So first of all, if you guys have read through the indictment, this document is now available online. You can just pull it up even while we're talking about it. You don't want to pull it up yourself so you can follow along with us. But my first question is, why is it so repetitive?
Each crime has a set of elements. Each count, all of the different elements have to be spelled out specifically and very detailed. And so as you read it, it's a 14-page indictment, only 3 counts. Racketeering is a significant thing.
Okay.
Racketeering is it's an enterprise. It's a collection of charges. It's a collection of and a pattern of crimes. And so the beginning of it sounds repetitive because the conspiracy, which is also another collection of activities, the racketeering conspiracy covers what they actually did, the means and methods of how they did things. And within that, it's really only the 1 count, but there are a litany of items that are in it. And it goes on and on for, that's 8 pages, then conspiracy still. And so it takes to page 11 to get through the first count because you have to establish each individual element of the entire crime. And within the code that is about conspiracy and racketeering, there are a lot of elements that must be met. So there's a lot of evidence that needs to be talked about. Now, the shorter ones, count 2, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, that lists a specific person. And that is much shorter. It's only a paragraph. And count 3, transporting to engage in prostitution. That's an easy one. That's only 1 paragraph because those are individual acts that took place on one given time, or they're saying for a period of time. But they only charged it once, so they only have 1 paragraph. But for the grand scope of it, that's what constitutes the enterprise. You have to go through everything. That's why it's so long.
I was also surprised when I looked at the indictment that there are other things that people have been talking about online. And of course, that's not the same as bringing federal charges against someone, but it's still ongoing. So does that mean that they could have more witnesses that they're interviewing right now and And how does that work when they add charges? They do it at like a specific time, or could it be like any day now?
With a case like this, you can think of it as very similar to a mob figure when you're talking about racketeering. The question, can there be additional charges added, of course? The answer to that is yes. Essentially, it looks like has come from Cassie's lawsuit. Probably really got this into overdrive. I think that there's been rumors about him, and they probably have. He's been on people's radar for a long time. But when that lawsuit was filed, it seems like that was enough to really get the investigation going, get the search warrants that took place in L.A. and Miami, and those are the ones we know about. We don't know about any other warrants that may have served for cloud storage or any of those kinds of things. So there could be a lot of information that we don't know anything about. But it looks like she's the specific victim that's referred to in count 2. If you go from her lawsuit and kind of match it up with the allegations that were made in that with the indictment, it looks like count 3 was probably also with her as their cooperating witness, and in addition to the other information that collected, did the conspiracy. So what will probably happen is, now that he's in custody and will be there for some time, since he has no bond.
Who filed the other lawsuit? Was it someone that we've heard about?
Yeah, it's the one that I told you about with Cuba Gooding that I saw the picture. They put a picture of Cuba Gooding hugging the guy in the lawsuit. He allegedly set up this artist to like pawn him off to Cuba Gooding, was one of the allegations in that guy's lawsuit. So somebody like that could also come forward, and there could easily be more charges added. And this could just be the tip of the iceberg.
So I saw a post today on YouTube that said Ashton Kutcher is expecting an indictment. Now, a lot of these thumbnails are just clickbait, right? So that's kind of why I have you here too, to help us like sort through the clickbait, because there's a lot of that online, as we all know. Ashton Kutcher was like a longtime friend, a lot of photos of them together, a lot of him at the white party a few years ago. He was being interviewed on television, and he was joking about how he spent a lot of time with his good friend Diddy. You know, they did things that he said, I can't even mention here. That didn't age well, right? So like the clickbait is Ashton expecting an indictment, or no, a subpoena. Sorry, I meant to say subpoena. When can people be subpoenaed and things like this? And could other celebrities like Jay-Z, Jennifer Lopez, Ashton Kutcher, associates be subpoenaed?
Anytime. Anybody could be subpoenaed, and they could be subpoenaed before the grand jury. They could have been subpoenaed already, and they might have testified at the grand jury. Highly unlikely, because at a grand jury, like I said, it's a probable cause hearing. You want to be able to establish probable cause to get these charges, but of these 3 counts, I mean, 2 of them carry life sentences. So,
tell us about that.
Well, the racketeering conspiracy is a maximum of life sentence. Sex trafficking, that carries with it a life sentence. Not mandatory, but a possibility of life sentence. And the transportation to engage in prostitution, count 3, that carries a max of 15 years, I believe. If they stack him or run him consecutive, if he was convicted of all 3, he could be life times 2 plus 15, and he would never see the light of day again. So there could be a lot more charges to come too. I mean, within these, as you know from reading it, there's a lot of talk of drugs, like cocaine, ketamine. I can't remember everything.
All kinds of stuff, like
a litany of stuff.
Yeah.
So at some point, you want to think that they charge him with trafficking drugs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would be like the easiest
like
one.
Distribution. I think it did say distribution or something of narcotics.
Distribution is included within the conspiracy of the organization in the racketeering. And so they could do that individually, though, in addition to having it in there if they really wanted to. Mm-hmm. There's also some question about people who maybe who are no longer with us that might have been, there might have been some involvement on some level. Who knows? So it's not dissimilar from a mob case.
It's what it really sounds like, exactly.
I mean, this is a very small case compared to a mob case, but same kind of things. And so what we're talking about is, the mob bosses aren't there when some of this stuff happens, but if it comes at their direction, and because somebody's been ordered, that's what they can go up with on the racketeering. So it's very interesting.
So Justin Bieber's camp unofficially, sources say, but it was through People magazine, I believe, which tends to be like the mouthpiece of publicists of celebrities. Sources said today that Justin, amid, Diddy's arrest and everything going on, Justin is just focused on being a dad and, is keeping focused on what's going on in his own life, and he's very happy, and he has no comment or involvement in it. So basically just trying to like put up a little shield. But could there be a situation where, okay, maybe you want to be walled off, you don't want to be a part of this, but you're going to be subpoenaed?
So what I think, and this again is based on just gut feeling and just
we're just speculating here.
Pure speculation. I have no information about this, but I will say, to me, that sounds like his camp trying to make it very clear to P. Diddy that he is not cooperating, so that Diddy knows he is not one of the witnesses. And I imagine that some of those people, like Jennifer Lopez and some of these people who have backed this guy forever and ever, are also going to be making some kind of statements like that, implying that they don't have anything to say, and it's being able to send a message to the media.
And why would they do that, in your opinion?
Well, God only knows. It could just because they don't want to be incriminated themselves because they were involved in things, or it could be because they're afraid. I mean, it could be a myriad of things, or it could be because if they were abused when they were little, maybe they don't want everybody to know.
That makes sense that maybe they wouldn't, for whatever reason, they wouldn't want to come forward. Another question still along those lines. It also came out today that Usher and Pink both deleted all of their tweets, and everybody was like, that's weird. They both did that today. They cleaned their Twitter. And Usher was one of the biggest alleged victims or co-conspirators. I mean, we don't know which one.
Never.
We don't know anything.
But
it's weird.
And more than likely, though, like unless Usher or somebody of his ilk were participating, more than likely at this juncture, now they've got him in a pretty bad spot with a couple life sentences. Look at a couple life sentences. They would be more like going after these people to cooperate. And the reason I kind of feel that way is I've represented people in murder cases and in a big drug case here in the metropolitan area where they were going after a doctor doing drug deals, and a person that I represented knew and ended up cooperating, and they never got charged. I would think that they're satisfied with him unless there's somebody else who really did something bad and participated. But I think they're going to probably look for cooperating witnesses to add charges to try to force him into considering some kind of plea. Although it's kind of like Harvey Weinstein stuff. I think there's going to be so much evidence that I think he's never going to take a plea because they don't have to give him a plea, and he's not just going to come out and say it. So he'll probably just go down swinging. That's my guess.
Dang.
You asked me about the messages. One of the reasons, so I used to represent a federal detaining facility. People, if you see somebody say that he's in jail or in prison, that's inaccurate. What he's in is a holding facility for pretrial detainees or transferees, and they have a number of them. And that particular one in New York is run by the federal government. I represented it for a number of years, a privatized one, and what some of the capital cases that I was involved in, it was people talking on the telephones that got recorded that then created a couple murders and things like that. And so I think that he's sophisticated enough that people aren't going to come talk to him or talk to him on the phone and tell him, I'm not going to cooperate. I think they're going to do things like what you just mentioned. Send a message with your media camp saying, it just doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm not making any comments.
Trying to stay out of it in every way.
Well, not only that, telling him
But why?
they're going to stay out.
Well, why would you want to tell him that you're sad? But he's in jail. He can't hurt you now.
Yes.
How?
Specifically, there was a drug dealer in the metropolitan area who got nabbed. He was in our facility, and through the telephone, there were witnesses who were testifying against him. Three of them, they all got murdered. And he said, through the phone.
Oh, yeah, because he has all these people that are supposedly, allegedly in this racketeering ring.
A lot of people's livings depend on him not going to prison.
That's a good point. Oh, that's crazy. If I were Justin Bieber or any of these other people, I would have my private security around the clock.
I will tell you, this stuff happens.
And you've seen it happen in less high profile
nobody
cases.
Knows this is a case in Kansas City, America.
Kansas City, USA. Okay, so that concludes our legal portion of this episode. Michael, thank you so much for answering all my questions. It was really helpful. You did a great job. Before we transition into just pulling a few tarot cards before we go, do you want to, go on record here on this podcast making any prediction on the legal side of what you think could happen?
Knowing how federal prosecutions work and the things that they put in indictments, and that a jury has already determined that they have these things.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to get convicted, and I think if he goes to trial, I think it's a good chance he gets a life sentence. I think the only way to maybe avoid that would be some kind of plea agreement that he'd have to sell pretty hard, because I think they're going to have a lot of evidence against him. That's what I think. And again, I don't know anybody in this case.
We don't want to know anybody in this case.
I'm not privy to any inside information, reading the different documents available to the public and from experience of cases that I've done myself. And if you guys like this,
be sure to subscribe to Lawyermog.com.
No, don't do that.
It's Lawyer-TEA.
If you want me to talk to you about crime and
I was thinking you could do
destruction cases,
true crime tarot tea specials. That would be fun.
I've got some wild stories.
Yeah, he has really crazy stories, guys. No, but for real, there's some.
That are real cases.
I asked him one time. I was like, "Have you ever met a truly evil person?" Because murder type person. And he said, "Do you want to tell the story real fast?" Oh, can you tell that story?
Yeah.
Okay, will you tell that story? We're getting a jump start right now on the Spooktober episode. Let's have Lawyermog back in October. We're gonna do it. Yeah, it's not fun, like spooky. We'll have you back in October for a true crime tarot tea, and you can tell us some of your stories of truly bone-chilling encounters.
Yes.
Okay, so before we go, we're going to pull just a couple of cards, Lawyermog. You're going to stick around for this because you really get to join in on the tea. And feel free to chime in. Okay, so first we're going to pull a card. This is all alleged for entertainment purposes only. First, we're going to pull a card for Justin Bieber. What is Justin Bieber actually feeling? And I would like to get Lawyermog's reactions to the tarot tea. I'm not expecting you to predict, but I think it would be funny to see what you say. Okay, Justin Bieber, what is his... How's he feeling right now? Because he did have that, the source about the statement, allegedly.
Yes.
Two of Swords. Feeling.
He's got the blinders on.
Nice. Okay, nice. You have potential as a tarot reader.
I have eyes.
You have potential. Watch yourself. Okay, so trying to steal my gig. With the Two of Swords, this is obviously the card of not knowing what to do, feeling disempowered, but all you have to do is take off the blindfold and put down the swords. This feeling stuck. I think what you said about not wanting to be involved, but also scared. Yeah, real scared. We're trying not to cuss because, we get demonetized on YouTube. I did have to cut. Yeah. It's got a sailor's mouth over here. Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. So that's how he's feeling. I think that's accurate. It goes along with what we said. What about J-Lo? How is J-Lo feeling? Allegedly for entertainment purposes only. She may be running off in the night. Look at this.
She's running off with the gun.
7 of Swords. Oh.
Look at the picture. I don't know if the
7 of Swords. She's running off with swords. But she's dressed all in black like a cat burglar, trying to, like, escape. So, she's feeling not great. She needs...
That was her coming into the club.
Maybe it was right. Oh, with all the guns. That's messed up. That's messed up. Could be. What's interesting to me about this card is that the headline was saying that she's wanting to, like, escape, go to a different country, whatever. I mean, this card would be confirming that she's trying to get the heck out of there and not be seen. So we got a couple of nervous Nellies here. What about Jay-Z? People have also said that Jay-Z, since he was such good friends with him for such a long time with Diddy, people are thinking that maybe he was around or had knowledge of the freak-offs and whatever. But then...
It sounds like everybody in...
How's Jay-Z feeling?
Everybody in the entertainment industry knew about him.
He's feeling like the hanged man. Everybody's tied up. Everybody is like not doing well. The hanged man is very similar.
Myself.
Very similar. Is that one of his songs?
Mr. Jail.
Oh my God, Michael. Oh my God. This is very similar to Two of Swords energy.
Yeah,
it's like really not what to
do. About 1 foot upside down. Jeez.
It doesn't look good. So he's not doing well. Okay, who else do we have? Who else can we just...
Junior.
Oh, yeah.
Named in another lawsuit.
And was this older or a new lawsuit? It's new?
It's come out since Cassie got filed.
Didn't Cassie file a year ago?
Yep. I mean, she filed it, and 1 day later it was settled, but it became public record as soon as they filed it.
Excuse me. You didn't even see me on.
It's,
sorry. Are you serious? It's almost 2 a.m.?
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta wrap this up. We're dedicated, though. I want to be consistent on his schedule, and he has to do what I say. And he's my captive. I don't want to make it light, actually. That's not funny at all. No. In this situation, I'm Diddy.
Please.
SOS. Someone help this man. I know you are. Even though I don't have a criminal enterprise, I am the enterprise. Okay, anyway, I don't know. Okay, thank you. I am. It just takes one hyperactive me. Okay, next. Oh, this one fell out. Who did we say? Cuba Gooding Jr. Ace of Cups reversed. Yikes. So the Ace of Cups in the upright. Joking. I'm not cutting that out. Sorry, guys. Ace of Cups in the upright is my cup runneth over, like with love. Also, this is like giving pious energy. Never noticed this before. I think that's the Eucharist. If you grew up Catholic, then you know what that is. Yeah, with our eardrum shatter. Okay, let me finish this. So, because now we just have the giggles. So, this is like, I'm thinking this is pious. This is my cup runneth over. Because before this, he had a pretty squeaky clean type of reputation,
I didn't realize this before he did not.
Oh.
He just won an Oscar and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But apparently, I don't know if he was charged criminally, but he has been sued multiple times for sexual...
assault?
I can't remember if that's like groping people.
Ew.
And I don't want to misspeak and say assault.
Yeah. We don't know exactly.
But multiple lawsuits, which I did not know about until I just saw this story.
So he's a creep.
Lawsuit, yeah.
Oh my God.
Apparently.
Allegedly, that's what we've heard.
He got interviewed on crime. It used to be a court TV. Now I think they call it True Crime something on YouTube by, oh my gosh, I should know his name, the court reporter. And he asked him about him, and Cuba Gooding was like saying, kind of dancing around the question, but saying, and he asked him, have you ever apologized for any of that stuff? And he's like, I'm just trying to be a better person. Like, so no. And then subsequent to that interview, it's come out with this other kid's lawsuit. God, I wish I could remember the
That's okay.
It was that really silly name. It was like
A little something.
Yeah, it was little something.
Hold on. It was a weird name. It was a name like that you would not.
Like, oh my god!
Like, why would you?
It was like Diddy was abusing him sexually and made him be that. Is what it sounded like to me.
Hold on. Let's say Cuba. That's horrible. Gooding Jr. You go.
This is real excitement right now.
I always say elevator music. Cuba Gooding Jr. lawsuit and little something. Little Rod.
There you go. Little Rod. That's right. Because it sounds sexual.
Yeah. It sounds sexual and
like
insulting.
A sexual abuser
and like rude. Like mean.
Called him Little Rod.
That's rude. Yeah.
And what the lawsuit claims is that Diddy was
had
abused him and then was grooming him to give him to Cuba Gooding Jr. and some of his other friends. And then in the lawsuit, there's a picture of Cuba Gooding at it looks like a recording studio with his arm draped around him. With allegations that he was like groping at him and that
disgusting.
Kid had to push him off or something.
I'm really glad all this is coming to light. So Cuba Gooding Jr. basically his card was Ace of Cups in reverse. That is an emotional card in reverse. Or in the upright, this is your cup runneth over with love and joy and happiness. In reverse, it's like your cup poureth out. Like you're feeling really like you're losing everything basically, which hopefully he will. Heck no. Okay, who else did I mention in all this? I already did Justin Bieber. I pulled a card for J-Lo. Oh, Ashton Kutcher. That was one. Okay. How's Ashton Kutcher feeling right about now? I mean, you should have seen. He's weird. Some things have come to light recently about him. Like, okay, do you remember when Danny Masterson, one of the other guys from that 70s show, he had that court case? He's in prison right now for rape. And it came out. And Ashton has some foundation with his wife Mila Kunis about like helping like victims of sex trafficking. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, it came out that he wrote a letter to the judge asking him to go light. Everybody's like, "What?" Like the double speak is okay. How is Ashton feeling? It's weird. Allegedly, 3 of Cups in reverse. So. This is my like three's a crowd type of cards. This can mean like partying, cheating, whatever. Like, you know, I mean, they got the cheesecake, they got the drink, and they're like living life. In reverse, this is big time regrets for all your partying. I think he really wishes that he wouldn't have been doing all this, and he knows he's effed because everybody knows there are tons of pictures of him like at the white party, at this and that. So anyway, lots of pictures of Diddy with lots of people. Oh, and then the Kardashians. Hold on, that's my last one.
The other one. Mentioned in that lawsuit. No, this one, I guess, specifically said that there were no allegations of wrongdoing, but there was a picture of Diddy and Kanye, and right in between them was Harry.
Oh, yeah, Prince Harry. Well,
Prince Harry.
Former Prince Harry. Whatever it is now.
Yeah. And he looked like he was...
Let's spoke up for Prince Harry.
That he was messed up. No. But the lawsuit didn't claim that he did anything wrong or even knew that anything was happening.
Sorry, I don't know. Knight of Swords in reverse. A lot of reversals here. So in the upright, this is like charging forward. This is swords are like communication. So in reverse, this is like I'm not going to say anything.
I'm running.
He's trying to. He doesn't want to be. Yeah, he does not want to be a part of this. I pulled one for the Kardashians while you were talking still. So I didn't show it yet. The world card. So the Kardashians, they've been on top for a little too long. People are saying now that their Hulu show is about to get canceled. Hopefully it is. And if it hasn't yet, it probably will soon because especially with all their ties to Diddy. Like Khloe Kardashian, I saw today like on YouTube that there was this clip of her from the Kardashians like a long time ago joking about flying to a Diddy party or going to a party at Diddy's house. She was like, I left at 5:30 a.m. Ha ha ha. Oh my God, Kim, everyone was like butt naked. You would have loved it. Like she was like joking, but it was like weird, you know? Well, now that we know everything we know, it's like, ooh, you're just telling the truth like in plain sight. And that's not funny. And that's crazy. Also, Kris Jenner's boyfriend, which are they really a couple? It's weird. Was pictured. I and I saw this photo today, was pictured while the coroner was like, there's a photo of the coroner showing up to Kim Porter's home, like after she passed away, and he's there in the photo. You can find this photo online. He was there when, like, at the scene of Kim Porter's passing. What? Corey Gamble involved with Kardashians. The Kardashians and Diddy go way, way back. And we all know that Kris, she'd sell, if you'd sell your kid, you know, you'd sell anything. Anyway, allegedly for entertainment purposes only.
I don't know what you're saying here.
Yeah. We're tired. I know. Sorry. I'm cutting all this. Okay. So before we go.
You're not cutting it.
No, I'm not cutting it.
This is the funny part.
Okay, last thing. Last thing, you're funny. Last thing, Corey Gamble. What's his vibe? Chris's boyfriend who, oh yeah, and then people care. He was in a lot of photos with Justin Bieber as well. So people are saying like, oh, and he was one of Justin Bieber's co-managers with Usher. Weird. Like people are like, who is this guy? People think he's just like a handler. Like
that's who's gonna
one of the racketeering people.
That's who's gonna
Corey Gamble.
If she doesn't hire informant, and that is the handler gal that is been Diddy's long time handler, and it's
right hand woman.
Yeah, I don't know her name. Just saw it, and she's named in a couple.
Was she like his Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yes, and that's who they that's exactly who they compare her to. That she was one of the people that was setting up all the prostitutes and recruiting gals and stuff. Mm-hmm. Almost identical to that other.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Well, okay, so Corey Gamble, 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting, because we have the 3 of Cups in reverse for Ashton Kutcher, and Corey Gamble also a 3 energy in reverse, but this is money. So he actually, allegedly for entertainment purposes, he has a lot of money tied up with Diddy, and I think he regrets that. So there we go, guys. That is our Legali-TEA episode. I hope you guys liked it. We're going to go to bed now. We're so tired. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, for listening, and be sure that you check out my YouTube this week at Brit Madrid if you guys are listening on Spotify, and go to my Instagram please at Brit Madrid and at BZen TV. I will link everything below in the description because I'm going to be sharing photos and videos of dogs that we met, that we played with, that your money that you guys spent on your readings went to give like stuffies and toys, and I want you guys to see how precious these dogs are. So I'm going to be sharing all of that this week, and we'll have a lot of fun. Okay, love you guys. Thanks for listening. Bye. Thanks, Michael. Also, thanks, Michael. You said say goodbye. And good day. Or whatever. I don't know. And thank you so much. Hold on, guys. Why did I forget this? And thank you so much, Michael, for being here. You're the best husband, the best lawyer. He is a super lawyer, by the way, and that's something that you can't buy. Show him your cup. I got this. He's also a literal super lawyer. This is from 2024. Yes, this is your second year in a row being a super lawyer, meaning he's one of the best lawyers in the whole country, and he works really hard, and he's a great person, and we love him so much, and that's why we stan Mikey on this channel. Your words, not mine. But I agree. Okay, love you guys. Love you, Michael. Bye.